Remodeling a room in our San Francisco house continued. It hasn't seen much for remodeling in 15 years or so, and this was our kids' room for 23 years. And this is becoming what I hope will qualify when I'm done as a sophisticated professional office combined with an occasional guest room for 3. And that dual purpose has made designing the layout a little tricky, but the pieces are in place to wrap this up this week. Maybe, probably. My clever and sophisticated plan to get there is to plug along and cross my fingers and see how it goes. Here's what we've got. Patch walls, sand walls. Floor refinish. Refurbish desk number 2. The floor refinishers arrived this morning, doing what I can out on the porch, working on the 2 doors. And the other day, the standing desk arrived, and I've had a look at it in the room with this table. And the standing desk and this table don't wed together terribly well. It'll be fine once there's stuff all over them. But I decided a subtle thing I can do to help them live together in a more friendly way is to match the corner radiuses. And the radius on that standing desk matches a double jigger. Exactly. This one hurts a little bit. Last night, when it was wonderfully cool and dry painting weather, I applied a beautiful coat of paint on these doors. Overnight, the dew apparently hit here in an aggressive way, and the paint wasn't dry, and this happened. Well, nothing to do but clean up somehow, sand, and start over. If that's the inside of the closet door, I might keep it. Yeah, that is the inside of the door. And I don't know if I'm conveniently convincing myself that mistakes lead to great things, or if that's objectively worth keeping. I'm keeping it. Something from defeat. Jaws of defeat, something. I'm gonna give paint the ceiling its own line. Yeah, my, paint on the thing. My order of operations, a little bit flawed. Any reasonable person would have painted the ceiling first thing. Speaking of orders of operation, the most efficient way to paint a room is to wash all the surfaces in the room, patch all the holes, sand everything that needs sanding, prime the whole room, paint all the trim, edge all the trim, then fill the walls. I find painting to be a long, monotonous series of events. So none of that is efficient if I take entire days off, which I'm apt to do. What I do instead is play little games with myself to keep the flow state going. I'm using this paint The game I'm playing right now is finish this corner. So I'm doing all those steps all at once, and I'm engaged because once this corner is done, the table that goes in this corner can go in this corner, and I'll get a little micro success in the project, which will keep me going. Flow state maintenance. See you later, bud. And with those last touch-ups, that corner of the room is painted. If it weren't for that window, half the room would be done. Sadly, the window is a ton of work. Had I been planning ahead, I would have added painting subcategories to the to-do list. That was a strategic error. And in comes half the desk. I'm headed to a place where this side of the room will be done. And I'm happy to say that I'm really happy with the hue and value and specular choices I've made with the paint. And for the, I swear, 19th time, I've had to remind myself that, man, are those choices tricky. And particularly in this room, I had to forge ahead really on theory, and I really wasn't happy with any of it. This hue seemed incredibly neutral. In theory, it's green. The ceiling looked far too dark, but value and hue is completely relative. And the old walls were yellow. The yellow was making the green look blue. It's impacted by daylight versus tungsten, and I genuinely was not liking it. But now that I can see all of it and it's not influenced by other colors, I love it. Color completely messes with my head. There's a couple old, original to the house boxes in the room that need covering. Made simple plates out of good old sheet styrene. And with that, the seemingly endless painting work is done. Let's celebrate with a trip to the Cinodrome. This week's little celebration of human endeavor can be brief, because not only is the channel, The Craftsman Steady Craftin', so next level magnificent that I'm not even going to try to describe it, you should just go check it out if you don't know it. But a recent film, AI is Death, is so great and says everything I would love to say but better that I am merely going to suggest that you go watch it immediately. That's all. Watch it, really. Go on. Now begins the relatively lightning fast fun stuff. Cabinet shelves, before, after. In Mrs. Cinodrome's current office, there is a whiteboard. This is a piece of it. It's a chunk of glass with white paint on one side. What I would like to try is to strip the white paint off, repaint it with the wall color, mount it to the wall. It will then blend in with the wall, but be a piece of glass you can write on. Could be slick. On the ever-dwindling list is dog dish shelf. I've been stewing on how to incorporate a feeding station in here. I was thinking a fold-down shelf. I was thinking about a unit that came in and out of this wall. High concept, high labor. I've been stalling, which turns out to be good because I was downstairs and I stumbled upon this. This is a stool, and under it is written, "Made for Dave, April 1998 by S. Fogler, my mother, from boards from bookshelves made by T. Fogler, my father, 1966. And if nothing else, there is a good lesson in why we should make such notes on things we make. Excuse me, Hugo. It sits right there. Then I thought, well, I'll need to create some sort of holder so that his bowls are held onto this bench. But then Hugo and I were shopping for something at the pet store and found these, which are weighted and they don't go anywhere. And if this needs to tuck away for any reason, sometimes the solution is staring us in the face and is very straightforward. I'm just going to shorten these legs and that'll be done. For most of today, I have been piecing this desk together and getting all the components talking to one another. I'm launching into cable management. And as I'm apt to say, at moments like this, nobody needs to watch that. Ta-da! Hey, that's that. I began this little story by establishing the hope that I could wrap this up in 4 days. Through the magic of cinema, I could claim I was successful, but considering the amount of awkward hair growth that's been going on since then, I will have to admit it's been close to 4 weeks. This was a big job, and some other things interrupted, but man, is it nice to have it done, and I am happy with the result. Here is a kind of before and after, and let's take a little tour and call it a month. Thank you to long-standing members to this channel who are magnificent. Information on member benefits, both on YouTube and on Patreon, can be found in video description. There's also a link down there to the Cinemart for all your Cinodrome shopping needs. That's it, except for special thanks to everybody on the chalkboard of fame.